Okay.
All right, welcome back to Game of Pros. We're back in your lives. That's Game of Pros. Pros is for professionals, not the other pros. But we got a couple of them joining us. How you guys feeling today?
Oh, we're
Good,
good,
man. How are you doing?
I can't complain. How was your footballless weekend?
It's all right. Had a couple birthdays, hung out with JP a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Shout out to JP. Happy birthday. 37 years old.
Somewhere between 5 and 37.
They kept asking him last night, and it concluded with him being 21.
Somewhere between 5 and 37, like Bird said. By the way, happy National California Day. Shout out to our friends out in San Diego, Mike and Becky. This water's for you. It's also, more importantly, National Walking Your Dog Day. If you didn't know, and you haven't walked a dog yet, you still got a couple hours.
Had a tough week with dogs, Dennis. You know all about that.
Yeah, he lost a family dog. That's
terrible.
Yeah. It's also National Margarita Day. What's your favorite margarita, Bird?
Just like a regular margarita, man. Nothing too fruity, you know, just a straight up regular margarita mixed Patron.
Not the kind where the waitress spills half of it on your new shoes?
No, not that kind. That did happen a few weeks ago. Terrible.
I'm not a fan of margaritas, but you know what I do like to see is you know that big Corona one where they put the beer bottles like upside down.
Yeah,
I love seeing that. Like people tackle that thing.
Well, that's a couple hours from February 23rd, which marks the designated start date for franchise and transition tags from teams in the NFL. They'll have an opportunity to hold on to some of their prominent players as they get ready for the new league year. Gentlemen, you guys have been seeing some notable players in the news that have been already let go by their teams, and also some players that are, you know, being let go or will be let go as soon as the league year starts. Any surprising names you guys have seen out there? What are your thoughts on that?
Not really. Not any really big names. Someone did mention Short from the Panthers on our group chat. Not really that big noticeable. More like you can tell what they're trying to do. They're trying to make some space maybe for a big purchase. That's the only thing I've really, kind of researched a little bit, but I'm not, no really big names that kind of stick out to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I haven't seen any drastic cuts of somebody who you didn't expect to be cut, early on in the season. We saw Wentz get traded. That was expected. There's going to be a lot more crazy trades happening, I think, rather than cuts. I know that the Steelers have, a few cuts that we have to make some tough decisions this offseason. So we'll wait and see. We can't keep everybody this season. That's just scope of the game, I guess. Can't keep everybody.
So real quick, that's your team, right? I mean, how do you feel about Big Ben? 41 million cap hit. Is he staying or is he going?
I personally think he's going. Obviously we'd like to. I know I would like to see him back again in the Pittsburgh uniform. He's such a great part of this team. Hate to see a guy like that go after so many years of being with the team and almost the heart of the team. A lot of these young guys that come in, they become these great players. I think in part because of Big Ben. He brings them in early on and bonds with them and creates this chemistry with them. A lot of his receivers, you see it happening all the time. I mean, we got weapons now, and I think in part is because they have that trust with Big Ben. So I hate to see him go, but I don't think he'd be with us next season, man. If we let him go, we have 19 million, cap space freed up. 20 plus, I think it's 21 in dead cap space. We got to pay him. His contract's 41 million and some change. So for a guy that old, I hate to say it, I don't think we can keep him.
His boy Cameron Hayward just restructured his contracts to give him a little bit more flexibility. I guess they're trying to make it work to keep him.
Yeah, and he said he was willing to also take a pay cut. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it'd be great to have him because I mean, who do we have a quarterback right now? You know, it's like if he's gone, we'd have to trade up or
it's not like they have a lot of
guy in the draft, but that's probably going to be not even ready. So
yeah, without a reconstruction of his contract, I don't see him
staying up.
Yeah, but yeah, they did, you know, and the thing is like they will. I mean, the thing is, if they do leave, if he leaves, they take a cap hit too, right? Then they like 24 million.
It's like 22 million. They got to still.
I mean, that's gonna hurt them too. They picked up Fitzpatrick last year. Who else is the big guy in there?
We got to keep Bud Dupree. I think I'd rather see Bud
There's
Dupree
big
with us
names
next year
that
than
you got to
Juju.
think of in the future. Yeah,
that's also a big decision. You know, it's like, do we let Juju walk? I think we should. I think we have enough weapons at receiver now. You know, we have Claypool really stood out this this season. Rookie Deontay Johnson, yeah.
No surprise out of Philly, the other Pennsylvania team. They already let go of Deshaun Jackson. They said they will be letting go of Alshon Jeffrey, or at least restructuring that hit. JJ Watt, we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Broncos are let go of AJ Bouye, who got injured early on last year, wasn't able to live up to those expectations. Ricardo Allen from Atlanta. Jeremy said Kawan Short, as well as Trey Boston out of Carolina. Mark Ingram was let go a few weeks ago. And then a lot of the names are notable names that are expected to be considered to be let go because of their big cap hit. You know, some names, Jimmy G from San Francisco, they could save $23 million if they let him go, if they don't think he's the guy to stick with at QB. We've talked about Alex Smith here in Washington.
Von Miller's one of the guys. I think his is like 18 mil.
Von Miller, yeah. He would have never thought that, right?
Right.
Yeah, people are talking to, you know, just they're cleaning house in Philly. Zach Ertz could be leaving to stay in the division. The Golden Tate is a name that's being talked about where the Giants could cut him.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like my biggest question mark when I look at the league and kind of the names that are owed a big cap hit that might be let go, it's Jamison Crowder from the Jets.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that article where
10 mil, right?
10 million they could save. You know, I guess he's the highest paid on their books for next year at 10 or 11 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a weird one because I'm a fan of Crowder. You know, I had him on my fantasy team last year. He was the Jets' best weapon throughout the season. Even though he only played 12 games, some of those he left due to injury. But that's what they knew what they were getting when they signed Crowder. I felt like it's a guy who's going to miss some games to some soft tissue injury, but 59 catches, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, twice as much as any other receiver on that team. And I mean, it's not like they're strapped for cap, right? I mean, that's a team that's second ranked in cap space, according to Spot Track. Brashad Perriman is gone. He only had a 1-year deal last year. Yeah. And everyone talks about how Darnold hasn't really had an opportunity to shine because of what's around him. Well, I think you could argue that Crowder's the best slot receiver in the league when healthy.
For sure.
And if he's gone, you got on that roster Denzel Mims and Braxton Berrios. So, I mean, at that point, you're still not helping him out. So,
no, not at all.
If they cut Crowder, you might as well just pencil him in for the first overall pick in 2022.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Jets are terrible as it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, you mentioned who they got, Sims and Berrios.
That's it.
If they let them go, that's geez.
Yeah. Some other names, Emmanuel Sanders, Julian Edelman, who I think will end up going to Tampa with his boys down there to go chase another ring. Jimmy Graham is a $7 million cap save for the Bears. Kyle Rudolph, $5 million. Preston Smith from Green Bay, $8 million they save if they cut him. Carlos Dunlap is almost for surely gone from Seattle.
Yeah.
Both running backs in Houston, David Johnson, Duke Johnson, combined, they could save 11 million if they cut them. Those guys didn't really produce for them. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. As I don't think that we're going to see that many big surprises as far as cuts. The names are kind of already out there.
Yeah.
As far as what to expect.
Right. Yeah,
And,
like I said earlier, I think it's going to be more just these like blockbuster trades that are going to happen. You know, the Watson thing's still pending. We'll still have to see if Houston's going to let him go. Hope they do. You know, I want to see the kid go somewhere else. I'd hate to have him pretty much stuck in Houston. He doesn't want to be. You know, will he even play if he remains in Houston?
I mean, he can hold out. And will you still draft him with your fourth round pick?
Yeah, probably.
After already using your third round pick on other
I traded Kamara to was it Will the year before for Watson. Terrible trade. Then I drafted him the next year. He took me far this time. What, top four? I'm gonna brag about that.
Hey, you made the playoffs, bro. First time, right?
Yeah, it's like 4 years, 5 years. How long been in the league now? 6? I've lost track.
Yeah.
Never made the playoffs. Well, once.
I missed the playoffs. Sucks. It sucks.
Well, you know, and it's only this league that it's like really hard for me. I've joined another league before.
We're the hardest
I'm always
league
in the end.
Yeah.
Like I'm always in the championship. And then I play with you guys, and it's like I end up like 5th or 6th place. I still haven't come in last place, which is great because I haven't had to do any of those punishments.
We're truly the game of pros.
Yeah, same. Every other league, I'm top 3, and then in this league, it's like it's a battle.
You just win every other year.
Ooh, look at that thing.
One day, Bird. One day. Could be this year, man. Could be this year. This was a wacky year, man. All these injuries. I mean,
yeah.
The fact that you made it to the playoffs, that's a sign of things to come for you, I think.
And surprisingly, none of my team, I don't think, was ever on the COVID list, like the guys that I drafted. Like not one.
How'd you do in daily fantasy?
They were just hurt. Yeah.
How'd you do in daily fantasy? Did you make a lot of money on FanDuel?
I didn't do a lot of. I didn't. I'd say I cut even, made out even with it. Whatever I put in, I was actually on a downward slope and ended up like towards the end of the season, like joining like a single tournament, got me like 150 and got me back up. So, and then I feel like I made another 100. So I left like the season with like 250 on FanDuel. Wasn't too bad.
I feel like you're always like way up there in the big tournaments where you're like about to win, you know, thousands of dollars. And then like in the last minute of the last game,
somebody misses a field goal.
Darnell Mooney or somebody random from Chicago or something weird happens. And then you're like,
takes
there was one game that I was telling Jerms about where it was, I think, the Patriots in Seattle this season. And I was like number 1 and I was winning like, I think either like 1,000 something. I woke up, I took a nap, woke up, and I'm first place with like literally a minute and a half to go. Nothing else can go wrong. I have it secured. Well, Seattle gives the ball back to the Patriots. Cam runs it. He becomes the MVP, and I lose, and I win $20 from 1,000. Terrible, man. I had to go to sleep all sad, crying.
Right.
In the fetal position.
In the fetal position. It was cold. Fucking sucks.
Damn it, man.
Well, speaking of cold, guys, what happened in that camp with Cam Newton? That was some cold
Speaking
stuff.
Of Cam Newton,
that was some cold stuff right there.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, I mean, Heisman Trophy winning, NCAA championship, #1 pick. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been an MVP. He's been at the almost as as close to the top of the mountain in terms of professional football as possible. And you know, I feel bad because we're, you know, at the end of the day, we're talking about a kid, you know, think of all the stupid stuff we did as kids. But obviously this video went viral, and yeah, what are your thoughts?
When I first saw it, you know, I was like, man, why is Cam, you know, as an adult, like even going back and forth? I saw, you know, he was just like I'm rich. So at first I was like, man, like why is my man even, you know, why? It's pointless.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the more I saw it, the more I read about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, man, like this is it's so normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the whole like shit talk, the whole competitiveness, the whole, you know, trash talking. It's that's normal in the football world, in the, you know, sports world. But like, but as kids, you know, like as like a high school kid, like you gotta know your role, man. You gotta know what's disrespectful. You know, that was just beyond, you know. And you know, I love the fact that, you know, when we were texting, you know, we were chatting about this earlier, Dennis was like, you know, I'd smack Oliver, like, and that was, you know, that was my first, you know, thought was like, damn, if that was my son, I would be so disappointed if that was my son, you know, talking trash, you know, disrespecting an adult like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you pay attention to it. Cam's like, "Where's your dad?" He doesn't even want to talk to the kids. I don't even want to talk to you. Where's your dad?
And honestly, regardless of Cam Newton's, you know, his stats and his, you know, his greatness, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, Cam is, you know, he's a beast, bro. He's an entertainer. He's so entertaining to watch, whether you hate him or you like him. He's entertaining.
Yeah, we can all agree he's been on a downward slope these last few years. But I mean, he was still pretty damn good at one point. You know, when he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that dude was a beast.
Oh, and he's the one like sponsoring the camp. You know, that's the biggest spit to the face. Is like, this is the guy, like this is an opportunity to grow, as you know, for the kid, you know, and he's just completely taking the opportunity and just like.
Do you guys believe that was a genuine apology? What he wrote?
I did see that. No, and I give him props for that, man. And I give him props, and I'm sure that, you know, either coaches or his parents,
someone helped him do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I mean, that's what needed to happen. He needed.
Yeah, we shouldn't. You know, no one should crucify a, you know, high school kid for for getting into a little shouting match with Cam Newton. Like
right.
Like Jeremy said, it does look very normal. I mean, we've all, you know, we played high school ball, you know, or we go to the park and shoot hoops with people. Like, it's very normal to get, you know, into a little shouting match. It didn't get physical. It didn't get crazy. It's kind of funny. It's just kind of, it sucks that it went viral, and it sucks that it went viral in a time where, like we said, Cam's stats are not good, and he hasn't been good. It's been a rough couple of years on the field, and so it was you know, like even in the kid's apology note, it's like, you know, it's almost like, hey, I didn't mean to humiliate you. Like he did. It is kind of humiliating, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, Cam's out there, you know, that's a guy who you don't see like bad publicity coming out of, you know, Cam Newton's camp, right? So he's out there trying to, you know, be somebody for these kids, trying to be someone to look up to. He's up there that close to these kids. I mean, still as an adult, I'm turning 30 this year. If I saw Cam Newton anywhere, I mean, I'd probably freak out a little bit, right? Probably, but yeah, I guess the lesson there is, yeah, you know, how do we as parents and coaches help shape, you know, this next generation to be a little bit more respectful, because everybody's got a camera now where everything can be you know, picked up, everything. And one small mistake, and no one's gonna remember this, you know, in a few weeks or months, right? But this kid's life could be changed forever now, right? I mean, he you know, so that, I guess that's the takeaway from it. But Child Protective Services, if you're listening, I'm not gonna smack my son too hard, but I'm just in our messages, that was my that was my first thought, is if that was Oliver, man, I would, you know, he'd come back home and it would be way more than an apology on Twitter or Instagram or something. You know, we would have a very serious talk.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else? Anything? What are you guys excited for? I mean, I doubt we're gonna see a Watson trade. I think Carlos mentioned it last couple videos where if it's gonna be somebody, it's gonna be Miami because they have a quarterback they could ship over, a quarterback that's under control, that's cheap, and Tua. And I don't know if you guys saw Devontae Smith, the Heisman-winning receiver, was asked to compare Mac Jones, his QB from last year, with Tua, and he said Mac Jones is the better QB. I thought that was real interesting. So I just kind of made me think, man, if Tua doesn't show something soon, he might not be the guy in Miami, and then they might want to do something about that, for Watson. But who knows?
I was never really too impressed with Tua to begin with. I always thought Fitzpatrick was a better fit for him this season, and they should have just rolled with him. Probably would have made it further, and probably would have made the playoffs had Fitzpatrick been in there the whole time. That's my opinion, though. But
I'm with you. I think I've said it for months now. The guy I want taking snaps week 1 for Washington, and I've said this for a long time, Fitzpatrick. He'd be cheap. He'd be under control. He can sling it. He'd give us a shot. He'd give us a shot at maybe doing something more in the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a bit shocked when they did the whole QB switch, because Fitz was doing great.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like on a 4-game win streak or something?
Yeah, he was.
They just it just came out of nowhere. And my thing is a lot of franchises do this where they'll hire they'll draft a young QB for the future. And I was actually I was proud of the Dolphins. I was like, man, they just drafted this young guy. They have this veteran. They're gonna let him grow, let him wait.
Yeah.
And then no, they did it. They just completely switched the whole script. It didn't make sense. It did not make sense to me at all.
Yeah. Even Fitz was like, I thought this was my team.
Yeah.
He was blindsided by it. It was fucked up.
It's not like that offense had a lot around him too, other than some decent play out of Devonta Parker. Yeah, Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
They need some more weapons. They might go get Devontae Smith and get him to play with Tua. Or Jamar Chase, right? One of those receivers.
Yeah. Or even one of the top guys, Galladay or what's the other guy? Robinson. There's guys out there. There's top receivers this year.
I hope a lot of these guys don't get franchised in the next week or two. I'd really like to see what all these guys, whether it's Juju, Robinson, Galladay, Godwin, let them go make some money out there in the free market, right?
Yeah. Godwin's one of the guys might get cut too, right?
Are you talking about Chris Godwin from Tampa?
Uh-huh.
Well, so he's a free agent, and last I saw is they're pretty confident that they could re-sign him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think they could just tag him. I mean, any of these guys they could just tag. And I read something that Samuel from Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget this guy's first name. Curtis Samuel. I saw something about that the ties with Washington are getting stronger.
Yeah,
Maybe a solid number 2, maybe a little slot receiver to go with Terry, Logan Thomas.
Yeah, I like him. I like his game. He's kind of reminds me of like Pierre Garçon a little bit.
Yeah, he's all over the field. You line him up in the backfield.
Yeah, he's tough. He's a tough guy.
Sweeping jet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hey, thanks you guys for coming in. Everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends to tell their friends to do the same. You can find the Game of Pros on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram now. Every bit of support is greatly appreciated. We're slowly getting to the new league year. We will have some very informative shows for fantasy. NFL draft is coming up April 29th. We'll do mock drafts obviously for fantasy, and also we'll show you what the Game of Pros are betting on week in and week out in the NFL. Anything else, fellas?
Man, I just want to thank everybody that's followed us so far and, continues to like, share, and support us. Appreciate you guys.
All right, fellas.
All right, man. Good night.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.